Alright, folks. Today, we are diving into the fascinating world of organizational behavior, or OB for short. Now, you might be thinking, what the heck is that? Well, let me break it down for you. Organizational behavior is essentially the study of how people act within organizations. We are talking about businesses, non-profits, schools, you name it. It's all about understanding why people do what they do at work, or how they interact with each other, and how all of this affects the organization as a whole. Think of it like this. Have you ever wondered why some companies seem to have a great vibe and everyone loves working there, while others feel like a soul-sucking nightmare? That's organizational behavior at play. Now, OB isn't just some abstract concept, it's a field that combines psychology, sociology, and management theory to help businesses run more smoothly and effectively. It looks at things on three main levels. Number one, individual behavior. What motivates them? This is about what makes each person tick. How do they make decisions? What's their personality like? Number two, group behavior. We are looking at how people work together. How do teams form and function? What makes a good leader? How do conflicts arise and get resolved? Number three, organizational structure. This is the big picture stuff. How does company's culture affect its employees? How does the organizational structure impact performance? So by understanding these elements, managers can make better decisions about how to structure their organizations, motivate their employees, and create a positive work environment. Now you might be thinking, okay, but why should I care about this, right? So, whether you're a CEO or an entry-level employee, understanding organizational behavior can help you navigate your work life more efficiently. It can help you understand why boss makes certain decisions, how to work better with your colleagues, and even how to advance in your career. Plus, for businesses, getting OB right can mean the difference between success and failure. Companies that understands and apply OB principles tend to have happier employees, lower turnover rates, and better overall performance. So next time you're at work and you notice something about how people are interacting or how decisions are being made, remember, that's organizational behavior in action. And understanding it can give you a real leg up in the professional world. That's organizational behavior in a nutshell. It's a complex field, but one that has a huge impact on our day-to-day work lives. Pretty fascinating stuff, right? Welcome to Office Hour After Dark, the podcast where we dissect juicy bits of workplace drama that HR doesn't want you to know about. I'm your host, Sheela, and today we are diving into a topic that got everyone's Slack channel buzzing.
Tinder leaves.
Yep, you heard it right. We are talking about a company that actually giving people time off to swipe right. So, let me tell you a little bit about Tinder Leave. Have you guys heard about Tinder Leave? So, for those who have not heard about Tinder Leave, this Tinder Leave policy was actually introduced in Thailand in this year actually, specifically by a marketing agency called White Line Group. So here's the scoop. White Line Group, a marketing firm based in Bangkok, around 200 employees, announced its unique policy in August this year, 2024. The initiative actually allows employees to take paid time off specifically for dating purposes. So using the popular dating app called Tinder. So in this policy, right, the duration is actually from July to December this year. So the subscription benefits is where the company is actually providing a 6 months subscription to Tinder Gold and Tinder Platinum for their employees. All of it, all of them, whether you're married or not. Yeah. So flexibility-wise, the employees can actually take days or nights off to meet with their Tinder matches. Staff members need to give at least 1 week notice before taking their Tinder leave. So the offer is actually available to employees who have passed their probation period and joined the company before July 9th until December 31st. So actually there's a motivation behind this initiative. So the company introduced this policy after overhearing an employee complaining about being too busy to date. So the management believes that being in love increases happiness, which in turn can boost productivity and job satisfaction. Whether it's working or not, we wouldn't know, right?
Yeah.
Because it's still ongoing.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, joining me are two fabulous guests who are about to help us unpack this corporate Cupid craziness. Ladies, introduce yourselves.
Hey there, I'm Yen Sheng.
Hi, Yen Sheng.
Okay. 30-something and navigating the choppy waters of a Japanese trading company in Malaysia. Trust me, it's like the office meets the lost in translation.
Oh gosh.
And I'm Shu Jing, proudly repping Gen Z at a Singaporean trading company. It's like crazy rich Asians, but with more Excel files and less glamour.
Hi, Shu Jing. Welcome both.
Hello.
So great to have you both here, right? Now, before we dive in, let me give our listeners some context. I've been in the financial sector for 19 years, watching everything from mergers to awkward office romances unfold. We've got these three perspectives from three different generations and work cultures, right? So you're from Singapore work culture, you're from Japanese work culture, I'm from Asian work culture, and we have the 20s, the 30s, and the 40s point of view, right? So let's dive in then.
Okay.
All right, let's break this down for our listeners. We've got a marketing agency in Thailand called a White Line Group that's basically saying, hey, go find love on your company time. They are offering paid leave for Tinder dates or even throwing premium subscriptions here, you see. So in the world of organizational behavior, which we call it short in OB, this is like throwing a glitter bomb into a very serious board meeting. Yen Sheng, from your perspective, in a Japanese firm, what's your take?
Oh my gosh, Sheila. If we try this in my company, I think our CEO would spontaneously combust. We are talking about a place where people apologize for just leaving 5 minutes earlier.
Really?
Yes. Tinder leave, more like time to update your resume.
This is why I love my Singaporean company. We are all about work hard, play hard life. I could totally see us implementing this right after we finish our quarterly reports, of course.
Of course. As someone who's seen more corporate initiatives than hot dinners, I've got to say this one takes the cake, man. But let's put on our OB hats for a second, right? So how could this impact team dynamics?
Well, in terms of group behavior, it could create something interesting. Let's call them alliances. Imagine finding out your work rival is dating with your work bestie.
Ooh.
Plot twist of the year, right?
Yeah, tell me about it.
But from a motivation perspective, it could be a game changer though. I mean, who wouldn't want to work for a company that basically your wingman?
Let's not forget about organizational culture. This kind of policy, right, could completely reshape a company's DNA altogether, you know. It's like one day you're crushing the numbers and then the next day you're in a company-wide Tinder workshop. The mind boggles, right? But hold up. let's get real for a second. So, if your company suddenly announced Tinder leave, what would be your first reaction?
I think I'll be all over it. Finally, a chance to meet someone who doesn't think Netflix and chill means binge watching financial report.
Well, I would probably to check the calendar first to make sure it's not April Fool Day. Then I would wonder I could use the leave for a spa instead. Self-love counts too, right? Perhaps.
Okay, and I'll be reaching out for the popcorn, ready to watch office drama unfold. It's like a real reality show, you know.
Okay.
Now let's talk about the potential OB nightmare scenarios. So Yen Sheng, what's the worst that could happen in your Japanese firm? Tell me.
Oh, easy. Someone accidentally swipe right on the CEO's profile. Instant Kabidon.
Kabidon? Kabidon? What's Kabidon?
You know that the manga thing where a guy slam his hand on the wall just beside next to a girl?
Okay.
Yeah. Except in this case, it's just like slamming your hand on the resignation letter.
Jeez.
If they match with someone from another department, suddenly there are team building exercises with way too much tension.
Shu Jing, what about your Singaporean company?
Worst case,
Uh-huh.
everyone matches with everyone else, and suddenly our office is Singapore show.
Best case, we all realize we are better off as friends and productivity skyrockets because we are not distracted by dating apps anymore.
True. So, in my experience, I feel like the real danger is when a Karen from accounting starts playing matchmaker. So, trust me, you do not want a Karen to manage your love life and then your expense report, do you? So, now let's explore how this might play out culturally across different organizations, right? So, Yen Sheng, how do you think Tinder leave would be received in Japan?
Oh wow, it would be shocking. The work culture is so different. Like, we have mandatory drinking parties for bonding, but something like Tinder leave, that would be seen as incredibly inappropriate.
Really?
Right.
In Singaporean culture, we have our own quirks too. Like how everyone is always busy their side hustles or personal projects. I think some might see this as an excuse to slack off.
Interesting. So, in my experience in international banks, I can only imagine HR departments having a field day trying to implement something like this across so many other countries. Okay, so now let's shift the gear again and talk about how this policy could actually lead to a more successful relationship, right? Or not. So, what do you think?
I'm optimistic. Having company support might take some of the pressure off dating. Plus, if both people work at companies with this policy, scheduling would be much more easier.
I'm not so sure of. Dating is complicated, even without having your employer. What if you go on terrible date?
Oh no!
It might be awkward to returning to the work, right?
A little bit, yeah. Well, those are actually great points, right? So, let's get personal here. What's been your most memorable or cringe-worthy date experiences? Shu Jing?
Oh, I can think one.
Okay.
Mine was when I went out with someone who spent half of the day talking about their crypto investments while I was trying to figure out they were actually interesting or just very good at Googling.
Well, for me, when I went out with someone who insisted to order every single item on the menu, just because he wanted me to try on it, including those dishes like belong in the art gallery rather on my plate.
Those are classic tales of modern dating, right? I mean, it really put things into perspective when we think about how much pressure there is out there, right? Especially when you add work into the mix. Now, let's wrap things up with some quick fire questions related to Tinder Live and OB principles. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Question number 1. What do you think is the biggest benefit of Tinder Live? Yen Sheng, you start first.
Improve employees' morale and engagement by offering Tinder Live, a company acknowledge and support employee personal lives, which can boost morale. Employees also can feel they are being valued, and then their productivity are more likely to be engaged and motivated.
Okay. Shu Jing, what about you?
When the employee feel motivated, right, it's actually improve their retention. Offering unique benefits like Tinder Leave can increase loyalty and retention, as employee may feel the company genuinely cares about their well-being.
Okay. Question number 2. What's one potential drawback? Shu Jing.
I think it could create operational challenges though. If too many employees take leave at the same time or frequently use this policy, it could lead to staffing shortage or disruption in the workflow, particularly in a small team or in industry where constant presence is required. This could affect productivity and put additional strain on the remaining employee.
But wait a minute. In order for the employees to apply for this Tinder Leave, they need to give at least 1 week's notice. Don't you think that is even better than someone who takes MC? That will disrupt more than the Tinder Leave?
However, it is still a disruptive when it comes to a very small group
Employee.
of employees. Yeah.
True. Okay. Yen Sheng?
Well, for me, some employees, especially for those who are not interested in playing Tinder app, dating app, something like this,
Okay.
or those who are already in relationship, married, they may feel they are excluded or undervalued.
True. Or maybe they feel that they left out or missing out on something.
Yes.
Okay, last round of a question. If you could suggest one improvement for Tinder Leave policies at any company worldwide, what would it be? Yen Sheng.
From my view, maybe could broaden the guideline policy, something like for currently just apply for Tinder apps, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
true.
What about other dating apps like Tantan, Bumble?
True. That could, that could help. Yeah. Shu Jing?
I tell you, I want all. I want more. Tinder Leave policy is to broaden the scope to include relationship and mental health support, rather than solely focusing on dating. The policy could be expanded to support employees in various aspects of personal well-being, such as mental health days or relationship counseling. This would make the policy more inclusive and address a wider range of personal challenges that employees face, and this could help to foster a healthier lifestyle, I think.
And to add on, right, when you say relationship, like not necessarily dating can keep women like us happy, right? I mean, sometimes good friendship also
Yes.
does the work. Like you just want to meet a friend that has something in common that we can laugh about, and it's just a platonic relationship that could actually be something positive also, not necessarily dating, if you ask me, right? So yeah. So great insights, guys. So for improvements, I'd say maybe include workshops on healthy dating practices, or even relationship management seminars as a part of onboarding. Well, folks, whether Tinder Leaves is the future of work or just a flash in the corporate pen, one thing's for sure, it's got us all talking. And isn't that what good organizational behavior is all about? Communication and engagement. And maybe just a little bit of chaos. So thank you so much, Yen Sheng and Shu Jing, for joining me tonight in my office hour after dark. So to our listeners out there, we want to hear from YOU. Would you swipe right on Tinder Leaf? Or is it just too much crossover between personal lives and professional ones? Let us know in our social media or email us at officehourafterdark@podcast.com. Until next time, this is Sheela reminding you that whether you are in the boardroom or the bedroom, always read the fine prints.